everyone. Welcome. So glad everyone's here. Okay, hold on. What did I do here? Gotta get my chat back on here. Go up to the beginning. What happened to my chat? Okay, well, it's showing on my other screen, so we're okay. So we'll just go from there. Hi, Margie. Hi, Melanie. How are all of y'all doing? Hi. It is actually so far pretty nice in my craft room. Hi, Beth. How are you? So I don't have the fan on yet, so you won't be hearing that. It's a pretty nice morning so far, anyway. I'm working on Unicorn Family. You are, Margie. I'm working on Unicorn Family. I'm starting to work on the baby unicorn, and once I finish this row, I will be halfway done with this. So happy about that. Because I did get an offer for a product review, so I've got to get one of these finished. Hopefully before that one comes in. I did finish the stained glass heart, so that'll be on my weekly update video next week. What color am I working on? G. I just thought I did M's. Maybe I didn't, because I've got a whole bunch of those left. But this is 155. Knock this came out of here. I use these little pieces of the squishies is what I use for stoppers in these trays. That way, with them being on the tower, if they get shook or something, I don't have drills going everywhere. Unfortunately, Melanie, I have to work all weekend. I don't get the long weekend off, but that's just my normal schedule. So hopefully, though, they will cook out for us on the holiday, so I won't have, we'll at least get that. It, I'm hoping that we start picking up a little bit because the last few weekends have been really, really slow where I'm at. We have our couple of busy rounds, and then the last round is just like we're waiting on one or two trucks to get there and waiting on all the other trucks to finish being unloaded. So it makes for a long night. I don't. Stardust was in here, but I guess she decided that she was going to go somewhere else. My co star abandoned me. But I'm trying to think. I've had a lot to say, and now it's just went right out the window. I did have a van a while back that I given my daughter Lexi. I don't know if she'll show up in here or not. And she wasn't doing anything with it at the moment. So I asked her if she would mind if I started fixing it up again so that I could make my camper van out of it. It's a Dodge I don't remember what year it is, but it's a Dodge van. I want to say an '01, but I'm not positive about that. Um, Anyway, I started converting it a while back and never did finish, and then she did a little bit on it and didn't finish because I'm gonna have to get a new transmission put in it. But my brother is gonna help me see how much we can get a transmission redone in it and get it running again, and then I'm gonna start converting it back out again for my camper van because I can't quite completely stand up in it, but I can almost stand up in it. So it'll be a lot easier for me than using my minivan. And if I can get that done, then I might trade in my minivan later and get like a smaller car so that it'll be I'm sorry, my allergies are just terrible today. So it'll be a little bit cheaper on me to do my DoorDash and stuff. I think Josh is back home. That should have been, it's probably the cameras. Or not. I don't know. What was that? Okay, I don't know what it was. I'm just losing my mind today. But I do hope everybody has a wonderful holiday if y'all have the day off for the holiday. Starting next week, I will have my grandkids every day that my daughter works, so that's going to be fun. I had all three of them yesterday, and it was just one of those days that I could not wait for my daughter to get home. Axel and Remy were fighting all day long over little things. And I would say that you would think that the boy would be the instigator, but no. Remy, I think, was going over there and bothering him just so that just so to get him aggravated and stuff. So I think that she was more of the instigator on it yesterday. And then I probably should have laid her down for a nap, but I didn't. And about 4 o'clock, her mom didn't get home till about 5:30. But about 4 o'clock, she crawls up on the bed in my craft room and she's watching her tablet. And I look over behind me and she's over there just fast asleep with her hand on her head, just sitting there like she's watching the tablet, but she's just completely out. Yeah, next week will be the first week that all of our kids are out of school. Axel got out early because he was in kindergarten, and then Remy doesn't go to school yet. I thought that she would be starting school next year, but her birthday is just a little too far out. So she won't be starting until the year after. Her birthday's just a little past that cutoff for her to go to school. Got my coffee today, my French vanilla coffee, in my must-have coffee cup. Love this. It's a cinnamon and brown sugar coffee from that the Starbucks pods. I actually got them on clearance and then I added my French vanilla coffee. It is my French vanilla coffee, my French vanilla creamer. It is very, very good. Love this, and I got like enough to last me 2 or 3 months. Thank you, Melanie. I like this. This is one of my favorite mugs. But yeah, it's just, I have really got to get started on that back room for them so that I might be able to have at least a little bit of quiet time. And I was doing okay in the living room with them whenever I put headphones on the computer in there so that I didn't have like 3 or 4 things going at once. But somehow those headphones got broke. So yesterday, on top of them fighting, I had the sound from the computer and then the sound from the TV where they were watching shows. And I put it on YouTube for Remy. She wanted to watch some shows on there. So I went ahead and put it on YouTube and looked up some kids shows. And it's funny because the Doodle Bops was on there. And that is a show that my daughter Lexi used to love whenever she was a little kid. The only problem with that is Courtney, which is my other daughter, couldn't stand the show. And Remy is Courtney's daughter. Well, she watched one episode of it and then she went to something else and then she went back to it and she came up and asked, "Can you put the Doodle Bops on?" So I may have started something there. My daughter might kill me for that. she my Lexi drove her crazy with that show. Absolutely crazy with it because they used to share a room and them two fought like cats and dogs growing up. They do a little bit better now, but my boys didn't do too bad, but my girls fought all the time, it seems like. But so I've got a few projects to do for this summer. I've got to finish up their little playroom so I get some peace and quiet in my living room. I've got to get some boxes and start packing up a bunch of the storage stuff in there. And then also I've got to start seeing what I need to do for my van so I can get it ready to go camping. So with my van, it might not be finished till probably next summer, but maybe this fall or something, I might be able to take it out for a night or so. I'm hoping anyway. I am really wanting to go camping soon, but the way my daughter's schedule is, it doesn't seem like I'm going to get much of a chance there so far. I will eventually make time to go camping. This week I didn't do so hot on DoorDash, but that's okay. I didn't get to DoorDash that much. Next week, though, Joshua, which is my son, said that he will watch the kids for a little bit on some of those days so that I can go door dashing. And I'm gonna borrow my brother's Jeep because my daughter will have my van, taking it to work. So at least I'll be able to do a little bit with that. Get some of it done. Or just in case I need to go somewhere, I'll have a way to go somewhere because normally, whenever she takes my van, Josh is at work, so I don't have a vehicle here. What else has been going on? Is there anything going on with y'all? Are y'all planning on doing anything big for the holiday that's coming up? I want to say it's Memorial Day, but I get Memorial Day and Labor Day mixed up. I think it is Memorial Day, though. It has been raining here, like just not really storming, but it's just been raining on and off for like the past week. No, my sticker's coming undone. But yeah, it's been a little bit of a time. Yeah, with me, I'm gonna be same way. It's just a normal day for me as far as working. I don't know. Normally, we're a little. Excuse me, 1 second. Okay, so sorry about that. I told you my allergies are really getting to me today. And I did not want to cough in your ear. What are you reading right now, Beth? I've been, me myself, I've been listening to some cozy mysteries. They've got a lot of them on YouTube. I don't really get a physical book that often and read, but that is a very good idea, Melanie. I will have to remember that. But what was the last book that I listened to? I know it's cheating. I listen to my books now instead of. Nope, don't do that. I don't want to play somebody else's channel on here right now. There, I almost did it again. But I'm trying to look through here to see what the name of the one that I was listening to was. Because I've got a whole list of them. I don't know that I've ever heard of those authors. I love the fantasy and the mysteries and the paranormal. I've been listening to the Millie's Cruise Ship Mysteries. It's just a cozy mystery that's on YouTube for free. And I can't remember who it's by. And then I listened to Time Cop. I don't know. That one is by Tasman Baker. Those are a few that I've been listening to lately. But some of my favorite authors. I might have to look that up. In fact, I'm going to write that down. Where Or I would. Let's see. Do I have any paper in here? This'll work. Whenever I was younger, I used to listen to, or what? Now I can't even get my words right. Read 2 books at a time all the time. I'm writing it down so I remember to look it up later. It'd help if I could spell, though. Yep. Okay. I've got that wrote down, so I will look that up later. And I might try to get it. Hey, good morning, Granny. How are you? I got contacted by for a PR package, and they gave me like 6 different ones that I could choose from. And there was one of them that was a Harry Potter one. It was a huge painting. I almost decided to get that one, but I didn't. So, but yeah, I was tempted between that one and another one, and the other one won out. I think I've heard of that one. Fairy Tales Reimagined series. I don't know. I know my daughter Lexi reads the Twisted Tales. Yes, Courtney. They're in there somewhere. Don't go near Axel. He does not feel good, and he says his head is pounding. Okay, sorry about that. She's fine. That would actually be great. Stardust is back in here again. She decided to visit us, and I can actually let her close to the table over here because she can't knock over this tower. Want to say hi? They can't see you. Sorry about that little interruption. Hopefully. Okay, I've petted you. I hung the spare key up, I thought. Okay, I will be right back, okay? Just one moment. Okay. They're doing your thingy. I'll find it. They're in there somewhere. Look. I gave you the spare in here yesterday. I know, but go and look on my desk over there for my regular keys, maybe. My daughter is looking for my keys, and I thought I hung up the spare one, but apparently I didn't. Nope, it's not here, so hopefully I can find that spare key. Yep, Stardust is my little co-host. I might have to look into those. Yeah, Lexi reads the Twisted Tales. And she really likes those. I think I've read one of them. I don't think I've read all of them. I've still got to get the second book. Is it the second or the third book in the Outlander series? I can't remember which one it is. I'm sure she'll surprise us and still get a kid up done later on today. But yeah, I'm trying to get one of these two bigger ones done. I did finish the Stained Glass Heart. What are you doing? No, you know, you would think that I would use my Bluetooth headset instead of this wired one for whenever I do my lives. Really? That, yeah, I think that she actually has all of those. So, there. Are you happy? You get to be petted? I think that I need the second book of the actual series. I think I read the first two books, but one said .5. So I think it was just a prequel to it. Um, yeah, I've just been so behind on my reading, and I've been listening to all kinds of books on YouTube, and I've got fur flying around here. From Stardust, I did find, and I keep saying I'm going to buy one of those mitts to where you can just pet them to get rid of all the extra fur, which I need to before I go to work today. I'm definitely going to have to get out my lint brush. But I am still going to eventually read all of those books in the Outlander series. And I wrote down a book that Beth suggested just a minute ago that I'm going to try to look up as well. So I might be getting a few books. And what would be great, I know a lot of people cannot stand it, but on Kindle, there's a lot of books that if you go into the app that you can tell Alexa, hopefully it didn't pick it up. There is no incoming call. To read for you, and it'll actually read it. It'll be in the Alexa voice, so it's not quite as I don't know how to say. It's more of a computer voice than a regular voice reading it. I will have to look into that. I didn't know there was an Outlander series on Netflix. I knew about the Highlander, but I didn't know about Outlander. Yeah, I know a lot of stuff you read the book and then you watch the movie, and it's not nearly as fun to watch. Whenever I was a teenager, I was reading the Secret Circle books, and then they had. Okay, get down. Now my pants are literally covered in fur, but that's okay. But then they had a TV series, and I think it only lasted for like one series or one season of that book, and I watched it thinking I'm really gonna like this series, and it just wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. And I agree, it was the same thing. I didn't like the character representation in it. It's sort of like the Twilight movies. I don't care much for them, but it took me a while to get into the first book of the Twilight series. I bet I picked that book up like 3 times to read it, and I would get through about the first 2 chapters and lay it down. I've read a few of the V.C. Andrews books. Flowers in the Attic, I think, might be one of them. It's been a long time, though. I don't know. I might have read some of the Daniel Steele, but I'm not sure. I know I've read a lot of Nora Roberts books, especially the ones that she writes for the paranormal. And then her series that she writes is J.D. Robb, the Eve Dallas series. I've read most of those. I absolutely love those books. There's just so many books that I've read over the years. It's been a long time since I've read that series. Might be something to look back at because I will reread a book if it's been a while back since I've read it. I'm going to put a few drills down anyway. But yeah, whenever I was in school, I would read a 200-page book in like 2 days, 3 days. I loved reading. And for me, that didn't really start until I was like in the 5th grade. And my mom had actually ordered something through a book club, and one of those books came in. And I looked at it, and I was kind of bored that day. It was a summer day. All my friends were doing other things, didn't have anything to do. So I ended up sitting down and sitting down with that book that came in, and I was in my grandma's den all day that day. Didn't hardly come out to eat or anything. And I sat there, I don't remember what book it was, and I started that book and I finished that book right about bedtime that night. And that was completely the start of my love for reading. I don't know, I like listening to true stories, but I don't know, there's just something about them knowing that they are real and those things happened. It's not as fun for me to read those books, but that's just my opinion. I know a lot of people love the true stories, but whenever I get into a book, I want to be able to basically put myself into that storyline and just I completely agree with that, Melanie, as far as Having teachers telling you what you had to read, what type of book you had to read. I completely understand that, and I think that's a lot of what it was with me. And whenever I was first in school, I had a little bit of trouble with reading. But once I hit 5th grade, there probably wasn't very many books in the library that I had not read by the end of that year after my mom had got me that book. Because I know this is kind of, I was only in the 5th grade, so it wasn't too much, but whenever I was younger, I loved some of the first ones that I read were the Babysitter's Club. And I heard somebody else talking about those books the other day, how their child absolutely loved those books. Yeah, go big or go home. Yep. I do like the bigger books now, and I do read or listen to them. I don't, like I said, I don't get to pick up a book anymore hardly and read it. I I can see that, Melanie, having being in a book club and discussing the book. I could really see that because I don't know if any, I haven't watched it in a long time, but I used to watch a lot of Mindy's diamond painting, and she has a book club or a book club series thing. I want to say it's on Monday nights. And I used to go in and listen to that. It's been probably a while since I've been in there on that because, for one thing, I work on Mondays. I've read 2 or 3 of the Little House on the Prairie, and I've read, I believe, like the first 2 books of Anna Green Gables. And then I don't think I ever read more than one of the Beverly Cleary books. I think a teacher actually read one of those to the class, like a couple chapters at a time. And that was, I remember that. Um, but I don't think I read all of her books. I think it was Super Fudge that she read. But that was before I got into reading myself. I don't know, there was something about that book whenever she was just chattering along the whole time. But yeah, I really liked that book. Like I said, it's been a long, long time since I've read that. And here lately, I've just been listening to the ones on YouTube that are free. Millie's Cruise Ship is one of the ones that I've been listening to. It's mysteries. Now, that one isn't really paranormal or anything, but it's actually a pretty good series. Um, what else has been going on? What are some other books that I read as a kid? There was a bunch of series. I loved Kelly Armstrong. Kelly Armstrong actually wrote a series of books that were for teenagers. And I read all of those, and then from there, I went on to reading her adult books. Was Bitten one of them? I think Bitten was one. But she had a whole series of books that I read. She's one of my favorite authors, Yasmin Gownorm, Laurel K. Hamilton. Those books, I love the storylines and stuff of those, but I don't know, for a lot of people may not like those. I used to get a few from the library here, but I haven't done that too much here lately. Well, that's probably the best part, not having to leave home. I'm always looking up stuff on my Kindle, trying to find stuff to read. I've got the Kindle Unlimited that you can get 10 free books, and then my son has like 5 of them on there that he reads, and he actually reads them, but I try to get the ones that Alexa will read to me. So okay, I didn't set her off this time. It it's sitting right behind me, so a lot of times whenever I say that name, it will answer me. But there are so many books out there that I love. And there's a lot of the JD Robb that I need to get, but they're just so expensive in audiobooks. And I could go ahead and just buy the Kindle books. I'm sorry. I need to watch whenever I say that name. What was bad is whenever my daughter Lexi was here living at the house. I've had those devices for as long as I can remember. I love having those. Anyway, whenever my daughter was here, whenever I would get a little bit aggravated or something, I would say, I would call by Alexis and then her middle name. And half of the time, it would come on and try to answer me. And then I have a friend, and I've really got to start getting in touch with her again. But anyway, her daughter's name is Alexa, or no, it's not Alexa. It's very close to Alexis. Anyway, and then her middle name is the same as my daughter's name, and then her last name. So we were in the car, and we had both of our daughters in the back. And at that time, I didn't know what her full name was as far as her daughter. And she didn't know my daughter's full name as far as the middle name and all that. Well, we were talking to them, and we would say something and they would both answer. And so I went ahead and said, Alexa, or Alexis, and then her middle name, and they still both answered. And that's whenever we found out that their middle names were the same as well. Just slightly different pronunciation of their first name. But we worked together at McDonald's, and we actually worked together at McDonald's, and then we had actually worked before that together at Sonic. So, yeah, that was something to a story that brings back memories. My Google does that in the I have Google in the living room, and if there's times that I'll just be talking to Josh and it'll just pop up like some random thing that I hadn't even said, or it'll go into playing blah blah song. And I'm like, I never even said that. I would love to be able to speak a second language, but I've I took French in school and I don't remember a word of it. I took it in high school and then I tried to do Spanish and I should have stuck with that, but I didn't because the place where I work gave us free access to it's not Babbel. It was the other one. It was the other one. I can't remember off the top of my head what the name of the program was, but it gave us free access to take that. And you could do them at home. So I did a little bit of that and then got so busy and never finished it. So, but that is something, yes, Rosetta Stone. That was something that I really, really regret not doing because now I get so many drivers that come in and there is such a big language barrier. And I know not all of them are going to speak Spanish. In fact, we get a lot of them in that it's a lot of different languages. And just the barrier makes it so hard. So, but it makes me regret not going ahead and finishing that. Maybe one day I'll go back in there and see if it'll still let me do it. But the place where I work offers you to be able to go to school online for free. They offered that and there's a lot of other things. But at the time I just had so much stuff going on that I never did get to finish it. It has already been 48 minutes. I can't believe it's been that long this morning already. Um, yeah, I was so happy. I guess my grandkids are in there right now, and my grandson's in there. I'm not happy that he's sick, but I started to say something else and I forgot what it was. I'm getting really good at doing that lately. But I guess Courtney left Axel and Aiden and Remy here for just a little bit while she went to the store. Apparently, Axel isn't feeling very well. So I might go in there and see if I have some of his Tylenol or something left here. I'll call Courtney, make sure that she did not give him any before she left. Here in just a few minutes. But yeah, I would really love to have the second language to be able to fall back on. Let's see. Did I get all the G's? I did. Somehow my canvas keeps sliding down a little bit off of my lap pad. Okay, so let's put this one back up. And the next color that I'm going to do, it's just a small one, or a small amount on this anyway, is the L, which is color 938, and it's 43. They are starting to wean her off of a medicine that they put her on for her anxiety. So I don't quite know how that's going yet. It's going to take about a week to be able to wean her completely off of it. But they think that is what has been causing the problem. But yep, it looks like coffee, especially very strong coffee at that. Let me take a sip of coffee. But hopefully by next week, we will be seeing a big improvement in it. And then I think also next week, she should have her scope that they're going to do to try to find out what's causing all of her acid reflux. Because that's a lot of what causes the anxiety is she has really, really bad acid reflux. But I am worried about that part, but I was getting really, really worried about her not calling, because she went from calling me like three times a day. She never goes without a day without calling me. And she had went like 4 days without calling me. Whenever I talked to her, she wasn't herself. So that was really worrying me until I guess my brother, they had told him that they were putting her on a different medicine. We share power of attorney with her, so they can call either one of us. So normally with the medical stuff, they'll call him, and then I deal with paying her bills and everything there. So they'll call me, but as soon as they change something, normally my brother will call me as well, so I know about it. Well, he got sidetracked and never told me that they had put her on a different anti-anxiety medicine. So I don't know, maybe I would have figured it out a little bit quicker, but I'm hoping that them taking her back off of that medicine will put her back to her normal self. Okay, we are already done with that color. Told you there wasn't that many. And I'm going to go ahead and do these upside down Y's, which is 550, and it's number 12. Hello, Stardust. Are you coming back in just in time to say bye? Nope. Okay. She decided not to get up there. This is 550, and I've got just a few of these to do. I wish these allergies would go away. I've still got to take my allergy pill, which is right here. I normally just get these from the dollar store. Let's see. They're just a really cheap version of Zyrtec, and they normally help pretty well. Thank you, Granny. Um, I haven't went and got any prescription ones yet. I try to take as little medicine as possible, but we've only got a few of these to put in here, so we'll go ahead and finish these and then finish up with the live. But I had a lot of fun today, especially being able to talk about the different books. I I love books. I wish I could read, actually sit down and read a lot more, but I do a lot of driving, and then that would affect my diamond painting time, and I'm too addicted to diamond painting to go without doing it for very long. But okay, I got two more left. I am really hoping to be able to finish this painting up by the end of the month, which I might be able to. I don't know. I'll either finish this one or the mystery one. But anyway, that is all of that color. Got quite a bit of my little baby unicorn done today because I woke up at like 6:30 this morning and I've been working on it until the live. But me too. I would be happy enough just to be able to quit door dashing and working down at the shop. At least. That would give me a little bit more time anyway. Thank you so much, everyone. So glad everyone is here. Bye, Granny. Bye, Margie, Melanie, Beth. So happy that y'all have all been here. Everyone, take care. And if you don't mind, hit that like button on your way out. I will see everyone next Thursday. Bye.